So this is the S24 Plus, and this has been my daily driver since its release. So let's see how it holds up 6+ months later. Alright, so design-wise, Samsung took a pretty minimalistic approach here. They've been doing this for a few years now. You get flat aluminium bezels all around, sandwiched between Gorilla Glass. I like how the lenses float in space out the back. Down under, you get a USB-C charging port. Up front, you get a stunning dynamic AMOLED 120Hz panel which features HDR10 Plus and 2600 nits of peak brightness. All in all, the S24 Plus feels very ergonomic in the hand. Now, I do have to mention the awesome color choices this year, a huge leap from the boring choices last year, and I gotta say, this Sandstone Orange color is a stunner for sure, easily my favorite of the 24 lineup. Now, the performance here is superb. You get the Snapdragon Gen 3 or Exynos 2400 depending on where you are, and coupled with 12 gigs of RAM, it leads to excellent day-to-day performance. Moving in and out of apps feel very fluid, and navigating the UI feels very smooth. Samsung's One UI has come a long way, and without all that excess bloatware that you used to get, it really feels solid to use daily. Gaming is no issue on the 24 Plus. Now, I'm not a huge mobile gamer, but I've never encountered any stutters when playing more demanding games. The screen here also adds to the performance of the phone, as the 120Hz panel, along with being bright, crisp and clear, just feels buttery smooth. Samsung really is an industry leader, and this OLED panel truly delivers deep blacks and vibrant colors. Alright, the triple camera system here is solid. You get a 50 megapixel f1.8 wide primary sensor with optical image stabilization. This is accompanied by a 10 megapixel f2.4 telephoto, as well as a 12 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide. And out the front, you get a 12 megapixel f2.2 wide selfie cam. Photos on the S24 Plus are excellent. Image processing has been tweaked here over its predecessors. The S24 Plus utilizes a newly implemented Pro Visual Engine, which uses AI to improve high dynamic range, zoom, color reproduction, and noise reduction in low light scenarios. And it all works really well, in fact. Photos taken come out with solid dynamic range and contrast. The 50 megapixel primary sensor captures great detail, and while colors pop in that typical Samsung manner, they don't feel as over-processed as they used to on its predecessors. Low light photography here is decent as well. Dynamic range here is solid, finer details are retained well, and textures do remain sharp. The AI-aided processing works well here to really up the quality of low light photography. The S24 Plus's video capabilities are fantastic. You can also shoot up to 8K at 30 frames. This video was shot in 4K at 60 frames and is smooth and well stabilized. Samsung has used some AI magic here to help with stabilization, so it eliminates most of the micro jitters you'd get when filming handheld footage. So while this phone hasn't really seen much of a leap in the hardware department when it comes to the camera system, I think most of the improvements that have been made are software based. Now, moving on to the battery life, I will say that the 4900 mAh battery really comes in clutch here and allowed me to use this phone moderately over 2 days consistently on a single charge. It has been great not having to plug this thing in every day. I will mention that I mostly use my phone for YouTube, listening to music, navigating, and responding to texts and emails, with my usage averaging at about 3 to 4 hours a day. Now, the speaker quality on the S24 Plus is average. You get top and bottom firing speakers in a stereo setup, and while the speakers themselves get plenty loud, I found that the bass and timbre to be just okay. Here's a sample. Alright, so has the S24 Plus been a worthwhile purchase for me? Well, absolutely. The 24 Plus just gets so much right. The screen is great, the battery life is solid, and the camera system is pretty versatile. In fact, a good chunk of the B-roll you'd see on my channel over the last 7 months has actually come from the S24 Plus, and that's why it's been such a reliable daily driver for me, because it just gets so much done well. then I don't really have to worry about these things. And so I can definitely recommend the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus, especially now that I'm seeing a lot more of the end of year sales for this device. So right now in New Zealand, prices have dropped to about 895 USD, and this is for the 256GB model, and the price is expected to drop a little more as we get closer to Christmas, so definitely keep an eye out for a good sale. So yeah, this has been my take on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus. Comment down below what you think of the S24 Plus and whether or not you're thinking of getting one yourself. Definitely like this video if you enjoyed it. But yeah, for now, it looks like we're out of time, so I'll catch you guys and girls in the next one.